Welcome to Dunmers and Divines.
Jesus Christ, I'm literally still injecting myself with drugs.
Yeah, we gotta summon a demon before you head off to church.
Yes, that's important.
Anyways,
Absolve me of my sins once I leave.
okay, the recording's back on. I'm on the Silt Strider, and we're having a smooth, uneventful trip.
Yeah, your first trip on a Silt Strider seems to go beautifully. The Silt Strider follows the path of the River Odai as it curls its way northward. You come to the small dammed lake that is the mouth of the river, and around which the city of Caldera has been, the settlement of Caldera has been built. I'm hoping for some kind of aerial image. You don't pass through the city proper on your Silt Strider journey, but you do, however, get a decent look at the town. Fairly small, with a large imperial fort towering over the whole thing. From your vantage point on the Silt Strider, you can see that the sort of mountainous structure to your west, the other side of the lake from the city, seems to have buildings poking out from the interior of it. Okay, where's your confusion?
The lake?
Small lake, which is the mouth of the River Odai, because rivers tend to have starting points, and they dammed up a stream, and it's not on the map. Just trust me.
Okay.
The little reservoir.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In Morrowind, is there just the water comes out of the ground out of nowhere? Or is it...
Someone made the point that in Morrowind they're all just drowned estuaries and technically not even rivers because they're not flowing anywhere from anything. Actually, it was Annie Austin. I love that man. There are no rivers in
Morrowind. I'm going to... Cool. We make it all the way to Aldrune on...
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we didn't even have to worry about those flying things.
As you pass through Caldera, the environment seems to get a little harsher around. You can see less of the tall mushrooms, more trees, some of which look a little scrubbier. The grass looks rougher and more sturdy through this area, and rocky outcroppings become more and more common. As you begin to approach the foothills around the city of Aldrune, the caravaneer whistles, and then stands, turns, and begins lowering the drapings around the Silt Strider, and says, "Ash storm coming on. If you've got coverings for your own mouth, you'll probably want them. This won't keep everything out." And as he says so, begins to lower a mask and then a scarf around his face, a leather...
Cool. I'm gonna be making good use of prestidigitation to keep keep myself clean, but also keep others clean as the journey progresses and ends.
Mm-hmm. In that case, you're essentially just continuously casting prestidigitation.
Yeah. I'm just like it's potentially cool if I'm able to do a wider area, but it's just keeping it from getting keeping the ash out.
And in fact, even in just the time it takes you to reinitiate the words you must chant in order to cast prestidigitation, you feel your mouth already filling with grit from movement from the ash blowing in.
I put my scarf on.
With scarf, with the covering lowered around the Silt Strider body.
Yeah.
So you're not able to view outside for the remaining hour of your trip. but you do eventually make it to Aldrune, which does have an image folder.
Oh, hell yeah. I remember now that the Orsimer who sent me on my the Orsimer who sent me on a Fighters Guild quest line, there was something about hurting someone because of money reasons. Oh, like we wanted to forcefully indict them into the guild. I think that's why. But I'm gonna stick to what you said. I definitely remember. I gotta do a favor for this person in that book. Okay, I'm opening Aldrune. Ooh, their guards have some fancy. Would you call that plate armor?
I would call it whatever the highest tier medium armor is.
Yeah, no, it looks like it could be some what's it called, scale armor, not plate. Although those are pretty big scales.
It's half plate.
Half plate. Cool. Half plate expensive. I'm like, ooh, we're in the fancier.
So notably, the armor does look fairly similar to the Halalu guards that you're used to, but all of the Redoran guards seem to have additional cloth coverings wrapped thoroughly around their face. Probably would be white if they weren't stained gray or like a reddish gray with ash, with red embellishments along it. But visibility is low when you make it to Aldrune. As you are guided off the Siltstrider, the Caravaneer is making a point of connecting his hand with every person's hand, like touching their back the whole way as they step onto the port. And the port itself is essentially at the top of a tall, long stone chute. Small grooves etched in, but not properly stairs. It's all very organic looking, almost as if this is the leg of some insect that got reappropriated, though it does look like stone.
Does that, like, the buildings look very different here, more like organic, like...
Very much so. They all look semi-insectoid, in fact.
Okay. Does this look closer to my childhood home?
You recognize a little bit more of the architecture. You've probably been in cities that look like this more, but your childhood was spent in netch leather tents, moving from place to place.
Netch leather tents, okay.
Cool. As you disembark and make your way down the tall chute, Nalos calls over the noise of the ash storm and says, I think that there's a Fighters Guild and Mages Guild nearby if you want to try to wait this out. But if we're trying to be out of here in the next hour, we should head straight for the inn.
Yeah, let's go take care. Let's go take care of that real quick. I go over to the Siltstrider person and I'm like, all right, can you point us to the Rat in the Pots Inn and also the Aldskar Inn?
Rat in the Pot's near the Fighters Guild. And the mages sort of near the entrance to the city. You're not far off from here. Aldscar is just off of Scar itself, so you'll have to head up towards the height of the city.
Cool. You got all of that, Nilos, right?
Nilos says, I've been here before. I think I've got a pretty decent idea.
All right, I'll follow you then.
Okay. Nilos sort of trudges off into the worst of the storm. You do see some of the other folk that had been on the caravan with you seem to follow behind you and enter with you into the rat in the pot.
All right. I'm gonna, as I step in, I'm gonna prestidigitate myself a little bit cleaner, and I think I'm also gonna use this opportunity to use a minor illusion to make my eyes glow for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yell, "Alright, who here goes by the name of Tongue Toad?"
You get a few looks, but you sort of realize that the space that you're in here, the space that was visible from outside, seems to almost be a little bit of an antechamber. You do see stairs up, and there's a bit of a bar, but there's not even really good sight lines on you from that.
It's a terrible place to come in and do this.
There's also stairs leading downwards, but it's hard to say what that leads to. But it seems as if this building is larger than it looked from the outside and is mostly, in fact, underground.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna look around for... I'm gonna be like, are you Tongue Toad? Are you Tongue Toad?
The third person that you sort of approach and ask that, a Nord says, "Why are you asking, lad?"
I gotta talk to them.
And who is it that sent you?
That's for Tongue Toad to know. Are you Tongue Toad?
And if I was?
Well, I'd like to know.
You're a fool on a fool's errand, aren't you?
Listen, I've only got 30 minutes to dedicate to this. I got another inn to get to.
He the Nord you're speaking with puts his hand on his chest and taps it a few times. Roll intelligence.
I'm gonna imitate the sign to try to be recognized by his cool game.
Okay, try rolling intelligence.
Fuck. I rolled a 5.
Okay, yeah. So you mimic the exact same gesture back at him. And he says, "Look,
I'm gonna. Okay, sorry.
Are you Tong or Fighters Guild?"
The Fighters Guild sounds.
Same difference then. Look, I'm not going to let you find Tongue Toad. I'm not going to let you do whatever it is that you've been sent here to do.
I was asked to do a favor for him.
A favor, some favor from the Fighters Guild.
Okay, maybe I remembered that quest wrong. I'm gonna scrunch out to do a favor.
But do you know you're a patsy for the Kimono Tong?
What's a patsy? I'm just okay. So I'm like a hired muscle for the Komodo Tong. I mean, that's what the Fighters Guild is, right? High up muscle.
But it ain't right. The
Right.
two imperial guilds at each other's throats at the behest of a bunch of Dunmer.
Oh, is Tongue-Toed with the Thieves Guild?
I didn't say that.
Okay. What, the Mages Guild? I don't...
Where do you think you are, lad?
Okay. I mean the Thieves Guild. Okay.
At this point, you remember that Habasi showed you that if someone makes this gesture, they're confirming that they're in the Thieves Guild, and the appropriate response is to switch fingers and tap once.
Oh. Okay, hold on. I can't believe I got recruited into a gang and then immediately forgot the hand sign.
Well, in fairness, you're not a rogue, so you don't know thieves can't.
Cool. Well, now I have it written down,
Nice.
so I will remember, maybe. Cool. I'm going to say, oh, okay. In this case, the dude who gave me this quest was an asshole. I was gonna ignore it. I was gonna. I remembered that when I took it, I was thinking of sabotaging it. So I'm just not gonna look for Tongue-Toed. I'm also a member of the Thieves Guild. If there's any, no, I shouldn't be taking on quests. Okay, well, I'm just tell Tongue-Toed that that the Fighters Guild is gonna keep sending some people, but that for now, because I'm.
The Nord pauses and waves at an Argonian who approaches, and he says to the Argonian in question, "You've heard all that, I assume?" And he nods his head and says, "I don't fancy being chased by Fighters Guild mercenaries the rest of my stay in Vardenfell. Report back to whoever sent you that you have taken care of the problem. I'll be on the next boat off the island."
Okay. I will do that. Report. I took care of it.
Just be careful dealing with the Fighters Guild. Some of their contracts are legitimate, but a number of them are just fronts for Komonotong business.
Those are the slaver guys. Oh yeah, okay. Like because the Thieves Guild is competing on the like criminal market with the Komonotong, they're paying out the Fighters Guild to harass us. We could do the same to them.
They've seemed to have unlimited coffers, and we're struggling enough with just shoring up our defenses.
Unlimited coffers. Interesting.
Thank you for the warning.
Absolutely. I don't see why more of us aren't like dual carters. Like, I'm in the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild, and it's allowed me to like get a little bit of a view on everything, and I...
The Nord sort of harumphs into his cup and says, "Lad, there's going to come a point where you're going to have to pick."
Yeah, but in the meantime, I took a quest on that allowed me to like help y'all.
And you're lucky that, well, you'll have to consider yourself lucky if you don't get back and they take your word for it. Don't expect to see a horn or something.
They didn't ask me for a horn.
Small mercies, I suppose.
Yeah, if you can just come back and say I did the job, and they don't check, then their money's better in the purse of the people. Okay, cool. Done. I'm done with this. Okay, have a good day, and I leave.
Okay. You leave the relative security of the inn and find yourself once again out in the midst of the ash storm. Nalos, a little extra gruff in his voice, being assaulted by the ash around you, leads you up several flights of stairs towards the big hulking shape that you can see towering over the city from atop a hill. The scar is the shell of a long-dead emperor crab, inside of which is built all the greatest manors of the city, as a way to protect themselves from the outside ash. But just outside of it is a rather more upstanding inn, the All the Scar Inn, with its a similar enough design. It resembles many of the other residences and businesses in the area, as well as the Rat in the Pot, which you just left. But you find yourself entering another low Velothi building with steps leading down into an underground. A clay... Velothi.
Is that like the architect? That's one of the houses, right?
Well, Veloth is the prophet. It is Moses. Is the prophet that led the Dunmer people to this area in the first place. So Velothi is generally an older style. Okay. It's this very organic insectoid style. It's nice. Velothi. As you...
Hold on. Is the implication that all of the like insects, that all of the insect and organic stuff is not native to Morrowind and was brought over by like the settlers for
No.
architecture? No. Okay,
very much. It's just that the Promised Land was filled with bugs.
Okay.
And lizards.
And they were a convenient way to build a home quickly when you arrive through. Okay.
But as you follow the steps down, there's a large hearth enveloped in clay, warming a space. And in front of it, you see two folks. One is, go ahead and look into Aldrin's NPCs. Which also has a tongue toad.
Perseus Mercius.
What a name.
Tongue toad, yeah.
But also you're looking at...
I'm looking for Hasur Zain Subani.
Yes.
And, damn, he's hot.
Yeah, so...
is that an Orsimer or a Dunmer?
He's a Dunmer. I believe I also have Naminda in there. And
nope.
NEM, no?
Nope.
I'm a damn fool.
Ingolf the Jeweler, Edwina Albert.
Asur, Percy's tongue toad. Okay, so, sitting with a Dunmer man wearing the garb of an Ashlander is a red guard woman in bone mold armor. She has a similar white cloth stained with ash, emblazoned with red embroidery, and is sitting with him. They seem to be sharing a bottle of Sujama. As you approach, you hear her saying, I understand the difficulties in moving these amounts of product into further outposts, but you have to understand our position, that these are people that we have that have entrusted us with their protection, including that of supply lines. So I can't offer more in coin, but would perhaps some caravan guards be beneficial? The Dunmer in return says, I understand the risks that your house has taken in establishing these outposts, and you must understand that they correlate to risks that I have as a businessman.
I leave, I go outside, I cast Detect Thoughts, I come back inside.
Okay.
I'm gonna be reading their surface thoughts for, like, to figure out, like, what they're hiding from each other.
And it seems to be that the answer is not very much. Naminda is a part of House Redoran, who is earnestly trying to get supplies for some of their more far-flung outposts at the lowest possible price she can, and is trying and enthusiastically wants to believe that using like House Redoran recruits to facilitate his operations will get them that better price. Meanwhile, Hasor doesn't feel that he needs this as a resource, really could just use the coin, but feels for Naminda's position, given that he does have some respect for House Redorans and how they do business. He just also respects the fact that they are not privileged with coin.
Right, so he's just not taking her coin because there might be
she's not able to pay enough, and she's trying to make up for it with like free labor from the house.
She's not able to pay enough for like his stock of resources.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's like, we'll pay you in protection along the way.
Protection, labor. What do you need? Like, I need goods. How do I get them?
Okay. And by outposts, I assume it's like not Ashlander outposts, but like specifically outposts of
New Redoran settlements.
New Redoran settlements. Okay.
A few flick through her head. Nisus, Cool, Aldvalathi, Aldredania, as well as smaller farmsteads. Just people that she knows by name, places she knows by name, and is worried about.
Yeah, getting food to people is important, but also if you're just funding the takeover of my people's territory, I'm not super enthused about like about this person's like enthusiasm, I guess.
Fair enough.
I'm after Detect Thoughts runs out, I'm gonna come in and interrupt and say, excuse me, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I have to be on the next Silt Strider out of here, and it leaves in 45 minutes. Can I have a bit of your time? Sorry about this. And I'm gonna tip a coin, tip a gold coin to the Red Guard woman for like as a like apologies for like taking some of this person's time. I was sent to get information from you about the Nerevarine cult. What can you tell me about the Nerevarine cult?
He sort of leans back, looks you up and down, and says, "Imperial raised, then, I see? You were raised outside of the Dunmer peoples."
Oh, I was after 5. Yes, I was from here when until I was 5, but so I don't remember much.
Well, then, let me teach you something about courtesy, young lad. You've interrupted a conversation related to my business pursuits in a hurry and insisting that your business is more important, demanding information. What incentive do I have to speak to you at all?
I'll get out of your hair faster.
I'm sure you can get out of my hair fast enough without the information as well. And he turns away from you.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm gonna stand up and I'm going to just say a round of drinks on me. And I dedicate this round of drinks to Hasur. And I'm going to like bow and say I apologize for my crudeness. I will like be waiting over at the bar over there for when your conversation is over. If you still are inclined to, if you become inclined to speak with me within the time I have in this city, I'm gonna step back, go to the bar, and I'm gonna pay however many gold pieces it takes to buy a round to everyone.
So this is the upper class tavern.
Fuck.
So the barman takes a few orders, then comes to you and says, "Lad, you're good for 50 gold?" All right then.
I am. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna look at the drink that I got for myself, and I'm gonna be like, I'm not getting drunk very fast. I don't know if that's okay. And I'll grudgingly pay 15 gold pieces to Gladius imagines this to be a sort of it's an extremely polite and nice thing to do to get a round of drinks on everyone and to dedicate it to him. So this was basically his way of trying to show humility, respect, and hey, sorry, you know what, your time is precious. I can I'll get out of your hair, respectfully.
He continues speaking with Naminda while you nurse the Flynn that you got from the barkeep. He continues speaking with the Red Guard woman for a period of time. Eventually, they both stand and clasp forearms with each other. She nods and places a helm back on her head, her hair sort of getting squished by the bone mold, and then wraps the scarf around her face as she then ducks out. Now, while she does have some bone mold armor on, she is still wearing a fine skirt with it. Like, she is clearly in the, like, upper crust of the Redderins. It's just, you know, that's still dealing with merchants and, like, going out and having these conversations personally, despite the inconvenience, despite the weather.
Yeah.
She bundles off into the ash storm, which, thanks to the construction of the building, doesn't allow too much ash in, since you're nice and underground mostly. At this point, Hasur swaggers over to the bar and says, "You have questions?"
Yes. I'm trying to understand my culture a little bit better, and also someone is I guess sponsoring my research. So I'm on official work, trying to understand the Nerevarine cult.
Well, I see you're already on your way to learning the first thing I can tell you about anything to do with the old Velothi people, the Ashlanders, as those outside our culture are prone to call us.
Ashlanders. Oh, okay, that's not the name we use. Old Velothi.
Preeminent in our culture is the act of courtesy. Thoughtful gifts are far more likely to gain you entrance to places than broad statements.
Oh. I guess that must have been a cultural instinct that kicked in. I must have seen somebody do something similar when I was a kid.
But bear in mind that outside of the Great House settlements, coin will only get you so far. There are far more valuable things to be traded for, to consume, to be gifted. Generally, within the larger tribes, coin is useless except as a way to trade outside of it. I always carry some, but, well, I'm a merchant.
I long to go back to a culture where coin isn't so central to the way things are run. So that makes me happy to hear.
But you want to know about the Nerevarine cult. I can tell you that most Ashlanders simply follow ancestral cults. The Nerevarine cult specifically is a minority among our peoples. If you wish to speak to someone who knows of it properly, you'll need to speak with a wise woman of the cult. To do that, you'll have to first get the approval of the Ashcan, or chief. To do that, you'll likely have to impress the tribe in the first place. Specifically, you'll be looking for the Urshulaku.
Okay. Find Urshulaku. Impress tribe. Speak to wise woman. Speak to wise woman.
the herds in the ashlands north of the mountain. I would check east of the caldera that runs near Margan.
Okay.
Or sorry, Foyada that runs
East of Poyada?
east of the Foyada, north of Margan.
I'm gonna take out my map. They're not on my map, I don't think. Or maybe they are. It's just written in different squiggles.
So Margan is here.
Okay.
So that's the Foyada north of Margan. So somewhere east of there.
Okay. What's the name of theirs? Okay, so like, basically anywhere in this area.
Yeah, they follow the herds, so it's
Oh,
hard
okay.
to say specifically.
Well, it says Urshilaku camp right there, but I'm guessing it's because you can't really have a nomadic tribe in a video game like this.
Yeah, from 2003.
Yeah, like that's cool. So
Somewhere near there.
that's not. Yeah, that like that. My map doesn't say the camp is there. It says the camp is known to sometimes be there.
Yeah. He says, if you're planning on going up there soon, their spring grounds are normally closer to the coast. And he does mark that point on your map.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I do... Perhaps as a favor to me, you might consider, since you're heading north anyways, my son I sent on his own expedition to Cool from Margan. He left over a month ago, and I've heard no word from him since. If
I go to Cool, or if I encounter him on my way there. Okay, what's your son's name?
He bears the same family name as me, Zain Zubani. However, his name is... Oh god, what's his name? Hanat Zain Zubani. And what is your name, young friend?
Gladius.
Gladius.
Say, what's your son's name again?
Hanat Zain Zubani.
Nut. Okay. Cool. Between Morgan and Cool. Okay. I'll do my best but I will be on the lookout. Thank you for your time and have a good day.
I appreciate your consideration.
Cool.
Walk in wisdom.
And walk in wisdom. And then I run out of the tavern straight back to the
Nilos, who, when it looked like things were taking a little long, had run ahead, sort of taps the Silt Strider Caravaneer, and as you approach says, "We owe him an extra gold for waiting, but he did wait."
extra gold.
Okay.
Cool. And yeah. Cool. So now I know where I want thinking like I could report this back to Caius Cosades, but also I could just go try to find this camp first. Yeah, that changes a little bit my plan, because maybe there's some like, yeah, maybe finding like I think that like you know, like Gladys has been like trying to be good, to be like helpful to the people in general, but not necessarily like his people, right? And like in this moment I feel so like disconnected from them that I realized like, yeah, I was gonna go and like raid a lot of like a lot of Dwemer ruins to like to help out the people in Balmora, but I still haven't like, but now I'm tempted to do the same thing, but just for the people up north, because and the fact that I don't even know them, like I think Gladys feels a strong pull to head to the north. I owe it to Nilos to come here and do the thing that we said we were gonna do, so I'm not immediately heading north. We're going back to Caldera, and from there we're gonna walk to the dungeon.
Okay. So as you settle into the Silt Strider, the cover is once again nice and secure, but the ash storm does seem to be somewhat abating as you leave the city. The cover stays down, but the howling stops, and there's almost no ash blowing in. And the movements of the giant insects are sort of a rocking motion. You find yourself settling into first an almost trance-like state, but then you fall deeper, and you see before you a tall figure in a golden mask. Someone who is becoming almost familiar, as he speaks to you and says, "Lord Nerevar Indoril, High Resdania, long forgotten, forged anew. 3 belied you, 3 betrayed you, 1 you betrayed was 3 times true. Lord Vorin Dagathor, steadfast liegeman, faithful friend, bids you come and climb Red Mountain. Beneath Red Mountain, once again, break your bonds, shed cursed skin, and purge the Enwa from Morrowind."
And I think Gladys like hears this and says, "But I'm an Enwa," and then I wake up.
Yeah. You feel the urge to say it, but your mouth feels almost glued shut, frozen in terror as you hear this message from this booming voice. But you do come back as Nelos shakes you awake.
I'm gonna look at the ebony blade. It has like golden filigree or like decorations, right?
It does seem to have some golden decorations.
I'm
yes.
like I can, like, Simon can tell there is a difference between the dreams I get from Mephala and the dreams where it's like maybe old memories from a previous life, or maybe some like but in that moment I'm like, well, he's got a golden mask and there's gold on this thing. Like, the aesthetics are like, I'm trying to piece together, did Mephala just give me a quest to go to Red Mountain? No, that doesn't seem right.
But Nalos is shaking you awake and says, we need to climb out now. The Silt Strider operator lent us a rope to make it down, and we'll be landing in the lake since this isn't a stop. Are you alright?
No, I'm cursed to sleep like a human. Let's get out of here.
Okay. And I think that's where we'll have to call it for today.
Nice.
Because it's 9 o'clock. Star and a wish, but I gotta poop.